Taking a look outside at the conditions from just under an hour ago, that layer of haze is blanketing the Northland due to the Canadian wildfire smoke. And now let's go ahead and check on in with Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch, who's tracking an air quality alert that's currently in place.
Yeah, I mean, right as that front moved in, you could smell the smoke in the air. It just got gross, which is unfortunate that we got to deal with that this weekend. Let's take a look at the air quality forecast for tomorrow. The MPCA, as well as Wisconsin agencies, going very unhealthy. So that's almost the worst you can get as far as air quality goes across all of northern Minnesota and into northern Wisconsin. This will be for tomorrow's forecast. Sunday's forecast might improve slightly for a little bit. I'll talk some more about that in just a bit. But check this out. We're seeing less than a mile of visibility up in International Falls. That's not from fog. That's from the smoke that we're going to be seeing out there. So we're going to be seeing that smoke continue as we head throughout the weekend. We do have an air quality alert for Minnesota until 9 a.m. Monday morning, and it's extended until noon across areas of northern Wisconsin.